дистрибутор на продуктите на Quest вече повече от 20 години. Днешната тема, която сме подбрали за вас, е тема, която бих казал, че винаги е актуална. Днес ще говорим за защита на активна директория, за това как можем да възстановим активната директория. Ще покажем няколко добри практики при различни клиенти, при различни ситуации. Разбира се, накрая ще завършим с демо, което колегата от Quest, Марчин Михалевич, е подготвил специално за вас. Разбира се, ще се радвам, ако имате въпроси по време на сесията или след това, на които да можем да отговорим. Now I will switch to English. Hello everybody. Today we are together with Marcin Michalewicz, pre-sales engineer from Quest Software. Marcin will present a very interesting topic about Active Directory recovery. He will start with a short overview of Quest Recovery Manager, and of course will show us how we can recover our Active Directory. He will show some best practices and of course a short live demo. So Marcin, hello. The place is yours.
Hello everybody, my name is Marcin Michalewicz. I'm a solution engineer in Quest, responsible for Microsoft Platform Management. Today I would like to show you how you can secure your Microsoft Active Directory environment with Quest. Every week we probably hear about new data breach. The question is not if, but when the next security threat or cybersecurity attack will occur. What's happening in the market is making it difficult to maintain security and compliance in Microsoft environments. Active Directory is the primary authentication and authorization system for over 90% of enterprises worldwide and accounts for approximately 500 million active user accounts. It is a frequent target of cyber attacks. According to Microsoft, over 95 million Active Directory accounts are targeted daily. Strengthening external security does not guarantee that security of Active Directory, as the most significant threats to Active Directory secure are internal, with over half of internal breaches involving privilege abuse. This includes accidental or malicious abuse of Active Directory privileges, elevated accounts, and sensitive groups, which can weaken security protocols and lead to unauthorized access to sensitive Windows data. With the growing popularity of Microsoft Office 365, the complexity of securing Active Directory is increasing. According to the Microsoft Digital Defense report, over 630 million authentication events occur each month, and over 5 million threats are blocked. A more platform-specific example is Microsoft Teams, which currently has 145 million daily active users. For vigilant cybercriminals, this presents 145 million potential exploitable entries. Under the hood of Office 365, there is an Entra ID, named earlier Azure Active Directory, used by all Office 365 applications to authenticate users. Entra ID is the central nervous system that enables Office 365. However, each Office 365 instance requires a separate Entra ID tenant. Another environment that it must be managed and secured. Over 75% of Office 365 customers with more than 500 employees synchronize their on-prem Active Directory with Entra ID, creating a hybrid Active Directory environment. Specifically using Azure Entra ID Connect, organizations integrate both directories, ensuring both environments are synchronized and allowing users to seamlessly log into Office 365 using their on-prem credentials. Because this is one-way synchronization with Entra ID, it's important to remember that on-prem Active Directory environment dictates the content of Entra ID. Therefore, your on-prem Active Directory becomes the central point that manages access controls, creates security compensation controls, and determines how access is granted to Entra ID and related applications. How serious are these consequences and how much of threat does Active Directory really pose? Consider the following statistics. The average downtime caused by ransomware attack is currently up to 23 days, yet 73% of users cannot withstand downtime longer than 2 hours. On average, the cost of Active Directory downtime can reach as high as $700,000 per hour, or $7.5 million per day. More than 600 million attacks are made on our identities daily, and approximately 80% of all organizations are vulnerable to attacks. The Microsoft Defense report confirms that findings and indicates that insecure Active Directory configurations are one of the most common attack vectors, allowing attackers to gain unauthorized high-privilege access. You must take action to protect critical infrastructure like Active Directory and your budget. To do this, you need to protect the most important resources in Active Directory and the resources that attackers are constantly targeting. I mean the tier 0 objects. For many organizations, however, it's easier to said than done. Organizations face numerous challenges securing Active Directory and tier 0. The attack surface of Active Directory is growing. 80% of security breaches now involve the use of compromised identities, making Active Directory and tier 0 in Active Directory as a prime target for ongoing attacks. This growing attacks potential, combined with the complexity of hybrid Active Directory and Office 365 environments, can lead to numerous vulnerabilities that cyber criminals can exploit using methods such as Kerberos roasting, golden ticket, and pass the hash. Speaking of Active Directory complexity, many organizations struggle to identify their tier 0 asset, much less protect them. 64% of organizations struggle to asset potential exposure. Active Directory configuration is the basic security hygiene still protects against the 99% of attacks, yet many organizations struggle to adhere to basic Active Directory security practices. Too many alerts. Due to the sheer number of Active Directory misconfiguration and their complex nature, many organizations struggle to distinguish between an ability and an actual breach. This uncertainty can lead to alert fatigue, which secure teams become overwhelmed with a large number of alerts, making it difficult to prioritize and effectively respond to real threats of reducing the organization attack surface, which is even more difficult to achieve. More than half of respondents to our Active Directory cybersecurity resilience study spend more of their day on security alerts and struggle to complete daily tasks. Although Microsoft is investing in the security of Azure, Entra ID, Office 365 with tools like Defender or Sentinel, This remains a significant gap in protecting the on-prem attack surface. The overreaching problem with frankly makes overcoming each of these challenges difficult is the fact that many organizations are struggling with Active Directory skills gap. Many organizations report feeling inadequately staffed to address Active Directory security. Furthermore, due to the Microsoft focus of Entra ID, Microsoft completely phased out the MCSEM CSA certification exam. Next generation employees are lack on-premise Active Directory expertise, while older generation experts are slowly but steadily disappearing. This means the Active Directory skills gap will only widen. That's why the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the United States decided to standardize a framework that could effectively secure the future. Now threats emerge and attackers continue to try, but NIST framework is designed to provide protection in the event, or rather at the moment of the attack. The NIST framework outlines 6 principles to consider when building a cybersecurity strategy: identification, protection, detection, response, recovery, and management. Strengthen your cyber resilience strategy to ensure the security of your most important assets where a breach, accident, deletion, or failure has occurred. Only Quest has you cover every step of the way. One of the most powerful tools in attackers' arsenal is the people in your organization. People can make mistakes, but it only this one mistake for attacker to breach your environment. Protect and detect. Change auditor from Quest portfolio. Again, of single view of activity across hybrid Microsoft environments, providing visibility into all changes occurring both on-prem and in the cloud. Auditing of hybrid environments and data includes Active Directory, logins, SQL Server, Exchange Server, SharePoint, file servers, and more. Includes numerous built-in searches that generate alerts based on search performance. You can create custom searches based on specific conditions to retrieve all events specific to these conditions. You can create alerts based on the custom searches to receive an alert whenever these conditions are met. You can schedule and create custom reports. Events are standardized in 5W events and provide enriched information. Change Auditor also allows you to protect objects from changes, such as specific objects, down to the level of attributes, domain, groups, or group policy objects. We audit more platforms than anyone else, both on-prem, hybrid, and in the cloud, all from a single console. Competitors are limited when scaling the enterprise environments and are often limited to their audit scope because they don't audit as many platforms as we do, don't audit as effectively as we do, and don't provide standardized event as we do. Competitors rely on the native logs that can be deleted or overwritten. Change Auditor is agent-based. Let's see how easily we can read the logs. In every logs, you see this 5W. Who done the changes, where the changes was done, what was the changes, with the value before and after change, when the changes was done, and original workstation from it was done. And of course, in this tool, you can easily restore the value before the changes was done. On-demand audit is a tool for Office 365 workload auditing. On-demand audit and change auditor can integrate, allowing for a single audit view and on-prem and Office 365 environments. You can manage searches, audits, reports, and alerts for the entire environment, just like in Change Auditor, from a single dashboard for the entire environment. Interactive visualization for better reporting and detailed search capabilities. There is an access control using airbag. Change Auditor can integrate set as apart. Bloodhound Enterprise integration enables searches based on the tier 0 resources in the environment. An activity anomaly search feature that detects unusual increase in failed logins, logs, file deletions, share changes, etc. Various other built-in search features. And of course, a dashboard with a quick overview of critical activities, audit status, logins, most active users, looks, etc. GPO admin is a tool to manage your policies with confidence. We can enable the rollbacks. We can log and download capabilities to prevent users from attempting to edit the same policy at the same time. We can log group policy objects to protect against changes or mask them so only certain administrators can see them. We can configure an approval workflow for any changes made to group policy objects. Automatic version controls create a new version of the GPO each time changes are made, and changes are automatically saved. Compare GPO's versions to identify settings that have changed between versions. We can test the result of the policies without first deploying them. We can enable GPO merges. GPO admin includes a monitoring service that can notify you of any authorized changes of your policy infrastructure. It also includes a reporting features that allow you to search the group policy object based on specific search criteria. It can be used in conjunction with certification authority to lock down group policy objects only for the GPO admin account. For example, increase the security in real-world situation. Identify. Quest Security Guardian. Quest Security Guardian is a SaaS tool that helps simplify hybrid Active Directory security and significantly reduce the attack surface by protecting tier 0 objects, remediating vulnerabilities, and insecure configuration across the entire hybrid Active Directory. In short, Quest Security Guardian is designed to detect vulnerabilities and misconfiguration and identify potential malicious attackers while enabling defenders to implement security controls across the organization. With all of these challenges in mind, what would your ideal outcome look like? Reduce the attack surface and improve your Active Directory defense posture. Remove barriers relating the complexity and knowledge gaps in Active Directory. Avoid alert fatigue by responding to threats very quickly. Ensure a cyber resilient life cycle and modernize your Active Directory. To achieve the goals, you need to develop or refine, if you prefer, a cyber resilience strategy. As I mentioned earlier in this presentation of the challenges, 99% of Active Directory attacks can be thwarted with proper hygiene, and hygiene is more easily achieved with the right IT framework. What sets Quest apart from other companies that we provide a complex and continuous cyber resilience cycle for Active Directory and Office 365, providing in-depth protection across multiple layers in line with the NIST cybersecurity framework. Identify, minimize, and manage attack path with the environment to limit potential attack path. Protect. block attackers from making changes to critical groups, group policy settings and links, vulnerable mailboxes, or exfiltration the Active Directory database to steal credentials. Detection. Accelerate incident investigation with real-time audits, anomaly detection, and alerts. Response. Respond quickly before damage spread with Google-like and forensic investigation. Quickly gather information to facilitate investigations. Recovery. Resolve incidents quickly with Google-like search for forensic analysis. Recover Active Directory and scorched earth scenario and restore business operations data integrity and the customer trust in minutes or hours instead of days, weeks, or months. Recover. Recovery Manager for Active Directory. It's a complete Active Directory backup and recovery solution. In this tool, we can enable granular restore of objects or attributes that includes group policy objects and group policy links. Ability to restore passwords and seed history, provided agent-based restore in use and valid backup in place. Reports on differences between backups and the production environment. Ability to recover multiple domain controllers simultaneously. Automate various DC recovery process. Ability to securely store backups on a locked down secure storage server or in the Azure or AWS cloud. Malware detection for backups at the time of creation and before restoration. Active Directory recovery from scratch. Automate the entire Active Directory recovery process from physical system provisioning to forest recovery. Pause the recovery process to execute specific scripts such as searching for malware in restored file and then quarantining them. Phase recovery for multi-domain environments. Export a disaster recovery plan based on the information from the Forest Recovery Center. Perform various forest management tasks such as forest health monitoring, privilege group password reset, FSMRO management, and domain controllers diagnostics. On the screen, you can see the differences between restoring using our tools. Because if you restore using other tools, you need to in first step manually restore the first domain controller. You need to install the system. For the second controller, for the second controller, for the first domain controller, and then restore one by one. With our tools, you can do this full automatically, creating disaster recovery plan. So the tool will automatically restore Active Directory in whole domain controllers you will set. On-demand recovery, it's a tool, cloud recovery tool host-based in Azure. Easily and securely backup all cloud exclusive objects. Azure Active Directory security groups and group memberships, Office 365 groups, MFA settings, licensing options, and certificate authority policies. We can do differential reports comparing backups to active Azure backups. We can do detailed search and restore down to attribute level. You can also bulk recovery users, attributes, groups, and group memberships without PowerShell scripts. We have integration with Recovery Manager for Active Directory. It provides a single view of your entire hybrid environment. Here we can see the differences between on-demand recovery and Entra ID recycle bin. In our tool, we can restore multiple attributes at one time. We can restore groups and group memberships. We can granularly restore the user attributes, for example, what kind of license the user had. We can restore all objects that was hard deleted from the recycle bin. We can do the reports and show differences between the backup and the production. We have capabilities to search and restore, and we can backup and restore the applications MFA conditional policy access. Our new tool, disaster recovery for identity, it might be as an extension of the recovery manager for Active Directory, or as a standalone product. It's a tool, it's a SaaS tool to backup on-prem Active Directory, and the storage is based in the Quest Cloud. I will show you this product later. Okay, so very quickly about the NIST. Identify and the products which we can help you, the Security Guardian and Enterprise Reporter, to protect, Security Guardian, Change Auditor and Group GPO Admin, to detect, Security Guardian and on-demand hybrid suite, recover, Recovery Manager for Active Directory, on-demand recovery and disaster recovery for identity, to govern, Security Guardian, on-demand hybrid suite, and GPO admin. Okay, I will do the very quick demo. I'm in the Quest on demand. I will go to the recovery option for Active Directory. And as you can see, I have run the backup of on-prem Active Directory. In the topology tab, we see that in this lab, I have one domain controller with global catalog, name of the domain, all FSM roles that are on this domain controller sites, agent is live, and backup was done. Here we can check the backup plan because we can create a few backup plans. In my backup plan, I have a scheduled backups for every month, or first day of every month and 12. And as you can see, it's backup. Now we can try to create the recovery plan. I'm creating the recovery plan. The name we can leave. Domain, it's the lab domain, and the domain controller we want to restore. Let's go inside. We will use the restore to clean OS method. As you can see, we have install Active Directory and remove Active Directory. I will type the IP address of the server that we will be on which we will be restoring. We can choose what backup what backup we want to use. It might be backup from a few days ago, maybe a few weeks ago. In this scenario, I will use automatic. The name of the domain account to restore Active Directory. Local username. ESRM password for restoring. Okay, we can save. We have created the recovery plan. I will show you that I have new installed Windows Server. 1 second, you need to be connected again. Okay, I'm typing the password. It's just installed Windows, and we need to set up the IP, the same what I choose in the recovery plan. DNS to have access to the internet. And we need to do one more thing. It will be easier to manage because we need to install the agent here. Okay. Let's go back here. We need agent to install on this new machine. Wait a few seconds to download it. Okay. Okay, I'm copying this. Let's go here.
Изглежда, че имаме лек технически проблем. Колегата писа, че им е прекъснал тока. За съжаление, ще изчакаме 1-2 минутки, за да се възстанови връзката. Така, междувременно, ако някой има коментари, въпроси, ще се радвам да обсъдим. Съответно, разбира се, ако има някои казуси, които са пред него и следва да разреши. Относно продуктите на Quest ще кажа две-три думи, че като цяло Quest Software работи в много близко сътрудничество с Microsoft, което позволява продуктът да е много native и така много близък като интерфейс и настройки до това, което са свикнали хора, които работят с Microsoft продукти. Като и това, което видяхте, другото важно нещо е, че това също им позволява да бъдат до много, много ниско ниво да навлизат в спецификата на Microsoft продуктите и да успяват да защитят всеки един и възстановят съответно всеки един атрибут или стойност, която е зададена в било то активна директория, файлови сървъри и така нататък. Ние от наша страна като дистрибутор за България сме на разположение да предоставим evaluation лицензии към някои от продуктите, към който бихте евентуално имали интерес и да помагаме по време на инсталация, конфигурация на решението. Така, мисля, че колегата
I'm back. Sorry.
Hello.
I had a problem
Hello.
with electricity and then I lost the internet connection. Now I'm on the mobile connection. So I hope it will work, but I need to connect with my lab and I see they have some problems with this.
Yes, I think that connection is it's okay, so we can continue.
Yeah, but
you are ready.
I need connection to my lab environment because I don't
Okay.
have this in my place, and I cannot establish the VPN. So, okay, I will show you the next step because I was trying to show you how to install the agent and recover the Active Directory. So maybe the VPN connection will be back, then I will show you. Okay, the second scenario, when we are our IT infrastructure is totally crashed and we need to back up from scratch. So for example, use the recovery manager for Active Directory or disaster recovery for identity. We need to define which backup we want to use to be restored. Yeah, because something was wrong in our environment. Then now we need to restore our environment. So for this, we can use our tool Security Guardian. As I told you, Security Guardian will help you to identify the tier 0 objects in your environment. What are the tier 0 objects? Domain controllers, so as you can see here, group with privileged access, like domain admins, enterprise admins, group policy objects, and of course, domain. So when you define these objects, these tier 0 objects in your environment, you can certify this in the Security Guardian. When you have connection with Change Auditor, you can enable protection of these objects. So only defined users in Change Auditor can do the changes in these objects. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard, and we see that we have one new uncertified user object in our environment. So it means why we have this user after attack. So let's go to check what's going on with this user. We see that we have user that it identifies the tier 0 objects because has been a member of the administrator groups and domain admin groups. So let's check the more details about this. Please remember that we are in the scenario that all of your environment is not working. You have access to our tool via web browser, so you can now investigate what was done in your environment that you are now need to restore the backup. Okay, so we see the distinguished name, the new user in which OU it is, and definition why it's in tier 0. So we see that this user is an administrators group and domain admins groups. So we can check in logs what was done, and we will see all history of the user. So, okay, we see the user was created, the password was set up, the user was added as a member of the group help desk, and it works. But something strange we can see here, that the user has activity domain controller moved. It's a little strange. So maybe we can see if we have any events very similar to this event. In our tools, we find some findings, and the newest one, it's a irregular domain controller registration. So it means it might be DC shadow attack. So let's go investigate what's going on. And as you can see, we have the same event as on the new user. So it means that it might be DC shadow attack. So we see that someone used the object name WS01 to do this attack. We can check logs that are connected with this. Yes, and we see that user administrator 2 was supposed to do this. So it looks like it was an attack. So maybe we can use our AI tools to help us understand what's going on. So let's go to the summary. And Security Guardian AI will try to explain what's going on. And we see that one computer was used to attack named DC Shadow. And there is an explanation exactly what's going on. We can check in Security Guardian how we can fix this. And here we have very, very short information how we can fix it. But maybe we can use Security Guardian AI, and there will be more information with step-by-step how we can prevent this event and how we can check what was done. Yeah, and we have step-by-step information, what we need to do, check this this computer, if it's domain controller or not, how we can do this, the sample power script, how to do this. Okay, I see that I should have the connection with my lab, so I need to copy the agent, and I will try go back to the restoring of the Active Directory. Okay, it's copied, extract. And we are just installing the agent. Okay, so let's go to the security, to the Quest on-demand tool, recovery, Active Directory. Let's go back to our recovery plan. We can open it. Everything is configured, so we can verify the plan. And now we will see the step-by-step verification. It will take some few minutes, and after the verification, we can start the recovery of the first domain controller. So as you can see, it's very quickly to restore the first domain controller. Or if you have more of these domain controllers, you can do this exactly the same step by step. Yeah. Verification is working. It should be done in a few minutes. Okay, that's all from my side. Alex, maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you very much, Marcin. Meantime, I spoke with the audience that Quest and Microsoft are in very close relationship when they're developing such a tools. So this allows Quest to be, let's say, very powerful in Microsoft environment. And as I said, we are ready to give evaluation licenses to all the participants that are interested, and of course to help with the initial installation and configuration.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
1 second. You can see that I run the restore of the domain controller, and of course, as you told about this license, you can use our license with Security Guardian, for example, to do the assessment of your Active Directory. This is example of this assessment in my lab environment. So you can see that I have 30 vulnerabilities found in this environment. In this tab, you can see what kind of vulnerabilities the tool found in my environment, and explanation step by step what you can do to remain this vulnerabilities. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Any questions? So we have one question in the chat. Oh no. Yeah. We have a question in the chat. Martin, maybe you can read it.
Yeah, it's long question. I show the restoring the one domain controller, yeah, because I have this in my lab. If you want to restore 5 domain controllers, it's better now to use Recovery Manager for Active Directory. It's an on-prem tool, because Disaster Recovery for Identity is brand new tool that it's still developing. And now we don't have this function in this tool yet. But on the disaster recovery for Active Directory, disaster recovery edition, you can create disaster recovery plan, and then you will set up all your domain controllers. You can use more than 5. You can use more than one domain. Yes, so you will set up which domain controller will be restored first, and you will choose which backup of the Active Directory database will be used to backup on this domain controller. And after restoring this, after the main steps restoring the Active Directory, the domain controllers, the tool will automatically start restoring second domain controller, and again the third domain controller and fourth. So you need to create disaster recovery plan and choose step by step which domain controller in which location. Yeah, because you can have these domain controllers in some data centers. It not must be in the one place. So it will be step by step, and there will be verification of restoring of this Active Directory database.
Yes, about the second part of the question, if
should be turnover replication between domain controllers. During this creating disaster recovery plan, you can choose how you want to restore other domain controllers, because you can set that you want to synchronize database from the first domain controller, or maybe you want to restore database from the backup. Yeah, so you can restore on each domain controller's database from the backup, or maybe you can set the first domain controller will be restored from the backup, and the second and next and next and next will be automatically synchronized from the first one. So we have 7 types of restoring of Active Directory database. Yeah, so you can choose one of this what you want to use.
Okay, thank you. Maybe a few words if we have during the restore, if we have some changes in the database, what will happen?
You are restoring from the backup, yes? So it will be restored. Always, when we are restoring the Active Directory, the fence domain controller must be authoritative. Yes, so if the changes will be done on this authoritative domain controllers, and then you will restore the second domain controllers, there will be synchronization, the second domain controller with the first. Yes, so the changes will be synchronized.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So do we have another questions? Of course, you can address us anytime after the meeting, so we are available. So thank you very much, Marcin, for the interesting presentation. I hope that all the tools are very powerful and can help us to protect our